Hello, America. It's just another proud American, and I'm filling in for America's Proud. And you're tuning into Somebody Has to Say It Again. This podcast is extremely controversial, and I hope this doesn't get kicked off like the last one did. Inflation. Many people are suffering from it. It isn't quite working out so well, is it? And the economy? Though we do see it booming in the great state of Florida, let's take a look at who's building the economy and who's destroying it. I learned about corruption both in the food industry and the pharmaceutical companies. Do you know that legal prescription drugs has an extremely long list of side effects? I gotta tell you, for me, the bad outweighs the good. I'm not taking any of those prescription drugs. And while we're on the subject, it's still a mystery why several food processing plants have had unexplained accidents and bizarre disasters from fires, plane crashes, and even explosions. This has been going on in the US and in Europe for the past year. And it's affecting the food supply. I'm sure you've noticed all the empty shelves due to the supply chain and food shortages. People are being told to eat bugs and fake meat. Not my idea of a good time. And now our rival is buying our farmland? Next to military bases? Doesn't that seem kind of weird to you? But seriously, I love life. I'm so grateful just to be alive. I feel privileged to have been born in this extraordinary, wonderful country. Don't take freedom for granted. Socialism and communism are right around the corner and a huge threat to our country. People, you need to know this. Once we get there, well, there's no turning back. The way I see it, if we don't do something real quick, things are gonna get much, much worse. I do have a few suggestions though. Why don't we start buying products that are made in the USA and try to buy at a farmer's market or from local farmers if possible. If you can, it might be a good idea to grow a small garden as soon as possible. I bet it would help the economy if the manufacturers would move back to the States. When I was a little girl, I went with my dad to the market in New Haven, Connecticut at 5 o'clock in the morning. We bought fresh and probably organic fruits and vegetables so we could sell them off of a food truck to the rich people down by the river. That was when tomatoes tasted like real tomatoes instead of rubber. And before the A&P grocery store put my dad out of business, I became a vegetarian at 17 years old. That's when I started studying health, nutrition, and fasting. This led me to take nutrition and physical education classes at the University of New Mexico. Listen, I'm not a nutritionist, but I have been called a bit of a health nut. Do you know that most universities do not teach any nutrition to doctors? I just find that to be disgusting. I have never pushed my beliefs on anyone else, but I do believe everyone needs to fast on a regular basis. When I fast with only water. Usually 1 to 3 days, and many times I fasted up to 3 weeks without any problems at all. When my son was 5 years old and started school, I realized that the food that they serve at public schools really sucks. Many people have poor eating habits, and our food is making them sick. And it's toxic with pesticides and herbicides. Healthcare has become extremely expensive. Processed junk foods are not healthy. By the way, obesity is not a good thing, no matter what anyone says. Low-fat and fat-free food and drinks do not mean fewer calories. They are loaded with sugar. If you want to be healthy, it's best to stay away from instant packaged and prepared foods that have harmful amounts of additives, preservatives, artificial colorings, and artificial flavorings. Many people ask, why do I do these podcasts? Well, it's because I have to say it. Americans need to wake up and smell the roses. In other words, please recognize all the lies that we're being told. And keep in mind, it isn't what they say, it's what they do that counts. Like my mom always said, talk is cheap. And my mom was always right. I have great topics coming up. So get the word out. Share, subscribe, tap that notification bell, and send some feedback and news tips to America's Proud at somebodyhastosayitagain.com. Stay safe and stay free.